Everybody wants to have a successful and fulfilled life, but not everybody does what we're supposed to do to have a fulfilled and successful life. Have you ever wondered, people don't take their lives so serious? If they did, they wouldn't do a lot of things that we're doing right now. Mostly, people are always carried away with trivials and problems of every day or challenges of every day. And they're not even sure what they're carrying ahead. Mostly it's mental waste. One of our speakers spoke this morning and said how we create physical waste inside of us by eating constantly and not giving any space, and how it creates sickness and gives room for diseases to creep into us. Similarly, when we focus onto the trivials and problems of every day, we're trying to create mental waste in ourselves. And globally, we're working towards reducing the waste. And one way to reduce your mental waste is to express or develop an attitude of gratitude. That's right, expressing gratitude. Now, we all know what gratitude is. We have, in fact, expressed gratitude in many times of our life. We've been thankful to our elders. We've been thankful when we got that new job. We were thankful when we got admission in the college that we loved. We are in fact thankful for a lot of other things in different times. We are thankful when we just miss a tragedy or when we receive a miracle. Which means we clearly know that we've got to be grateful. But the problem is, we always seek for these events to occur. But these events don't occur every day. So the problem is not education. The problem is ignorance. We are so ignorant about the little things that we can be grateful for every day. Because these things seem very ordinary and ignorant. Think about the things that your mother goes through, the love that she puts when she prepares food for you. Think about the effort all the volunteer team put into making this event a grand success so that you could experience a better experience. Think about the amount of practice and everything that each speaker puts into so that when they come here, they really add value to your lives. These are things that you can be grateful about, and in fact, these build a value system into you that builds a good nature of yourself. But we stay ignorant about these things. The reason is, the society that we live in promotes materialism. And from where this materialism stems out is when it says that the measure of our success is based on what we have and not who we are. And hence, we are constantly going after something that we don't have and never happy, not grateful for the things that we already have. And you and I know that even the biggest ship in the biggest sea, when it has to steer, it steers with that little rudder. Similarly, as a human being, we have a little rudder inside of ourselves, and that is feelings. And these feelings show us the way of our going. And these feelings is the emotions that we vibrate or are in. And gratitude is one energy or feeling that helps you to move into a better form of life. Because gratitude looks at things that are good already in your life and not things that which are not. And gratitude is the only tool that could help you stay in mental fullness. The attitude of gratitude says that you will believe that there is everything that you need in this world. The only thing it warrants from you is that you don't take it for granted. Because most times we take things for granted and we exploit them in our environment. But gratitude is about the attitude to be happy and grateful for the things that we already have and who we really are. And gratitude instantly shifts your energy even in the hard times. How many of you have had problems or challenges in your life, or maybe had, if not now? Great. Now, it doesn't matter what you're thinking about the problems or challenges at this point of time. I suggest you stop thinking of it and move your attention to the things that you're happy and grateful for today. Think about the things and people you're grateful for today. And as you're thinking in pictures of those things and people that you're happy and grateful for. And as you're thinking in pictures, these pictures are receiving the emotion of happiness and gratefulness. And when you receive the emotion of happiness and gratefulness, there are brain cells that are getting created in your brain. And this brain cell helps you to stay in good energy. In fact, when you place your priorities on the things that you're happy and grateful for, you're optimistic, you're healthier, you progress towards the goals, you have a greater sense of well-being, and you also look for helping others. And I'd like to talk to you about a study that psychologist Noel Nelson and Dr. Daniel Amen conducted during the study on appreciation and gratitude while working on a book, The Power of Appreciation. And Noel meditated on things that she's happy and grateful for in her life 30 minutes prior to her first brain scan. And her brain scan showed in a healthy state. And a couple of days later, Noel was asked to focus on the things that she has fears on her fearful thoughts. And the scan from the fearful thoughts turned out to be radically different from the previous one. Noel actually, in the scan, showed out that she decreased the activity in her cerebellum and temporal lobes, which is responsible for the sensory and the motion or the movement coordinates in our body. Which is why you will realize when you worry about things or when you are angry or upset, you generally are in the state of inaction because your brain doesn't allow you to move or use your sensory factor even if you see help and resources right in front of you. And that is the brain scan that you see, which is in an unhealthy state. And this brain scans, the holes that you see is not the physical holes in the brain. These represent that there is low blood flow and poor activity. And that's how the brain scan looks when we are not in the happy or when we are not in positive emotions. Now, every day you can either add health to your brain or you could add negative effects to it. Now, we originate our thoughts based on two different things. One is our outside, which is based on the circumstances and our current results, or from the inspiration or the dreams that come within us. If we originate our thoughts based on our current results, and if our current results are unfavorable, we could quickly get into a feeling of negativity. And feeling is very important for the actions that we take. And the actions that you take is really important for the results that you achieve in your life. And you want to be successful and have a fulfilled life. And hence, if you are in a negative feeling, you may not be able to take good actions that will lead to success. And what are the better way than being grateful for who you are and what you are, who you are and what you have, so that you could do much better things in your life. Now, focusing on gratitude itself, it calms the deep limbic or energy area of your brain. Now, how this helps you is it helps you to experience the joy that gratitude can bring into your life. And developing the attitude of gratitude actually helps you to reduce the mental waste that you could potentially carry in your life that can contaminate your brain, and not just that, it will not allow you to do good things for the betterment of your life. But the beauty of developing an attitude of gratitude is it will not just make your life wonderful, but it will also pass on to the people who follow you or people who come after you in the generation. And I'd like to tell you about a story or about a study that Albert Edward Winship, American educator, he was the pioneer of American educator, he was an education journalist, and he studied about a man named Jonathan Edwards. Now, Jonathan Edwards lived in around the 1700s, and Jonathan Edwards went to Yale at the age of 13, and he later became the president of Princeton University. Jonathan Edwards had 11 children, and he and his wife would sit along with the children every night and talk about the things that they were happy and grateful for during the day. And after they speak about it, Jonathan would teach their children about the importance of gratitude and then pray a blessing over them. And surprisingly, the legacy of Jonathan, this is the legacy of Jonathan. He had one US vice president, one dean of law college, one dean of medical school, three US senators, three governors, three mayors, 13 college presidents, 30 judges, 60 doctors, 65 professors, 75 military officers, 80 public office holders, 100 lawyers, 100 clergymen, and 285 college graduates. Around the same time, the people's attention in New York City was grabbed with knowing that the family trees of 42 prisoners in the New York prison was tracked back to one person named Max Jukes. And hence, a sociologist named Mr. Dugdale took interest and studied his life. And he identified that Max Jukes was a drunkard. He didn't believe in God, and he never practiced gratitude. He was always soaked into the problems and unfavorable results in his life. And later on, he married a woman of like character. Talk about synergy working on the opposite direction. That is Max Jukes. And out of his legacy came 7 murderers, 60 thieves, 190 prostitutes, 150 other convicts, 300 paupers, 440 who were physically wrecked by the addiction to alcohol. And out of the 1,200 descendants that was tracked back to Max Jukes, they studied that 300 died prematurely. The findings of these two stories is very remarkable. And if we could pick one idea out of these two stories, then it is the attitude of gratitude. Now, what we make of ourselves is of paramount interest than what we earn or what we earn in our life. And naturally, if we cultivate this value system of gratitude, it generally passes on to 5 generations after that. And if each generation practices it, it will never fade away. Which means gratitude makes you a better person, and also not just for you as an individual, but also to the legacy that comes after you. And the law of gratitude is, and gratitude has science behind it. And the science of law of gratitude is that when you are happy and grateful for something, you tend to receive more of it. If you are not, then you ideally don't even move towards it or receive in your life. So when you express gratitude, you instantly move your energy towards the things that are better in your life and in the world. And by that, you also attract similar things in your life. I'm sure everybody knows like attracts like. Hence, if you're always talking about or thinking about poverty or debt, then you would very naturally never become financially independent. And if you develop the attitude of gratitude, it can stabilize your emotions. Because you cannot be anxious and depressed when you are in the emotion of happiness. The attitude of gratitude helps you to increase or build your faith muscle. When you are grateful for the things in your life, you're expecting more good things. And when you expect good things, your faith builds. And also, when you acknowledge the good people around you, and the little compliments that your friends give and your relatives give, your self-esteem gets boosted. And if you could journal 30 minutes every day before you go to sleep, your sleep quality would drastically increase in a better way. If you develop the attitude of gratitude, your lifespan will increase. In fact, if you could buy a journal and write down the things that you're happy and grateful for every day, it could become a positive success or positive storybook of your life for that particular month or year that you write. Now let's suppose each one of us will live about 80 years in our life. And considering, or I assume that each one of us are past 20 years and old, which means it gives us 60 more years to live. That is 21,900 days. Now if we consider each day as an opportunity to express happiness or grateful, then we have a countdown starting from 21,900. And I'm sure a lot of us are way past 20 years in our life. And when you begin to express or be grateful in your everyday life, you don't have to wait for a calamity, or you don't have to wait for a bedridden relative to have a miracle to express gratitude in your life. The fact that you're already alive and have an opportunity to do better is more than enough for you to express gratitude in your life. And with that, I'd like to share a song that I really grew up with. And the song says, count your blessings and name them one by one, and you will be surprised what the Lord has done. So I challenge you that if you could count your blessings every day and name them one by one, you'll be amazed how beautiful and wonderful your life already is. With that, I'd like to give you a process or a way that will help you to develop the attitude of gratitude. Every day, before you go to bed, 30 minutes before, go to your room or remain quiet and wash out all the running thoughts that you have. And then think of things and people that you're happy and grateful for in that day. And as you're thinking about it, you will realize you get into a calm state and very happy state in your life, in your mind and your brain and your body. And when this happens, move your attention to your life and ask some important questions. How do I make my life better? Ask some important questions saying, what do I learn to nurture my brain? How do I learn ways to express gratitude to the people around me? How can I express gratitude in everything or every way of my life? And when you ask these kind of questions, life will never be the same. In fact, you will become much more better person and you will be more valuable person. With that, the only question is, what does it cost for us to end each day being happy and grateful? Because remember, whether you like it or not, you will leave a legacy after you. But what kind of legacy you leave depends on you. Thank you. My name is Sam.